Sup YouTube? It's been a long time since I've done a reaction to Scott the Woz. It's mostly just because his videos are longer and I just don't always have the time to make a reaction to them. Um, don't worry about the box. Yeah, we've just been having we've lived here for a year, but there's some stuff we ordered. Anyways, I actually have other Scott the Woz reactions I recorded earlier this year, like maybe even before I changed the identity of my channel to be mostly Johnny Depp shorts. But anyway, it's just that those recordings took so long and there was like all these interruptions that I had to actually stop and then start again and do some editing. I was planning on doing some, more editing besides just putting them together, like adding additional things for reference, but I haven't really had the time to do that as I've been focusing on editing my review of Pirates of the Caribbean. I got the first draft done, which has a lot of edits in it anyways, but there's some more edits I plan to do. So this is the version I don't plan to post publicly. But if you do want to see it, you can join as a member for just 99 cents. That's all it takes. And you'll watch this. There's no ads, regardless of whether you have an ad blocker or not. Or if you're doing premium or not. It's members only. I'm not going to place ads on a members only video. That you technically can do that, but like, why? That's just kind of messed up. Anyways, the final version I hope to have done soon, which is the one I'll post publicly. So you can wait for that too. But anyways, let's get to Scott the Woz. This one I'll try not to take as long on because I actually have other things I got to do, but let's do this.
Well, Scott here. One man's trash is another man's fucking garbage.
What makes a video game a good deal? Well, it's subjective. I don't know why you wrote Big Fangs, but I can't say you're wrong. But it's good to know your limits, what the bare minimum kind of product you'd buy at a certain price is. If I'm gonna buy a game for $70, well, it's gotta have this, or I'm not budging. But many don't seem to understand how, just because they won't buy anything with the letter B in it, that doesn't mean I abide by their logic. Either way, I'm safe. It's entirely up to each individual how they spend their money. If you want to buy The Last of Us Part 1 on PlayStation 5, yeah, I mean, there's worse ways to spend $70.
Here, take my money.
So then what do I consider good deals and bad deals in gaming? Well, to truly understand, we need examples, and if we don't get examples, we'll make examples. After over a decade of $60 being the norm for the standard blockbuster video game, with the introduction of the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles, we saw that price increase by $10. Oh no, my gordita crunch money! Hey, listen, I ain't opposed to $70 video games, or how much time you get out of these things, and that's still a fine value. It cost me $15 to see Dumbo, and I still haven't made back that investment. But the games they chose to be some of the first with that standardized price,
it's the same goat I've seen every day for a nickel.
Yeah.
I'll give them 9,000 today.
you'd expect games like Forza Horizon 5, Resident Evil Village, Guardians of the Galaxy, Elden Ring to maybe be $70, but no. Demon's Souls, a remake of a PlayStation 3 game from 2009 that launched at $60, a part of the same lineup of games from the same developer as Elden Ring, which retailed at $60.
That doesn't make sense.
Oh, I'm sorry. The chef is out. He made all the sense around here.
Again, $70 games, I'm fine with. I mean, have you seen the prices of games from the 90s? Mortal Kombat Trilogy on Nintendo 64 was $75, and you know why they went lower?
The cash register can't hold that much money.
Well, game prices were the way they were back then due to how much technology had to be crammed into these game cartridges, many of which had unique hardware included in order to achieve maximum, here you go. So, yeah, when you have to specially produce chips to put inside each and every game, that'll drive up the cost. Though with the transition to discs, those you didn't have to do that with. Just order a pack of blank CDs from Big Lots and you're set. Those were cheaper to mass produce, thus games got a fairly standardized price during the PlayStation 2 days of 50 bones. That increased to 60 with the Xbox 360 era, and moving into the PlayStation 5 generation, now we have to pay 70 for some of the biggest $10 games. The Last of Us Part 1, a 2022 remake of a game from 2013 that received a remaster in 2014, retailing for $70 US. Why is this so expensive? Because the toxins released spending $70 are far healthier than burning it. This is what I'd consider to be a bad deal in gaming, alright? Let's just use this chart here to compare all releases of The Last of Us. In 2013, you got the initial release for $60, considered Game of the Year by millions, one of the best stories told in all of gaming alongside incredibly tightly designed gameplay. And that's just the single-player campaign. You got multiplayer as well, plus a downloadable single-player prequel for an extra $15. The original 2013 release was well worth it in every sense of the word, if you say it really fast. But with the title releasing within the final year of the PlayStation 3's life before the PlayStation 4 took over, those who didn't already have the console were super willing to invest in one. Thus, 1 year later, The Last of Us Remastered for PlayStation 4 launched for $50. Improved visuals, frame rate, the DLC is included in the package, free of charge. Plus, there's a new photo mode, features utilizing the PlayStation 4 controller. This isn't the most exciting remaster, but it was a necessary one, giving the PlayStation 4 user base the chance to play one of the greatest games of all time in the most definitive way possible at a discounted price that would continue to drop over time. 8 years later.
This game better look like Satan's worst nightmare. It looks like he just had a bad dream.
The Last of Us Part 1 is a remake of the 2013 game. Remaster like the 2014 game, and putting them all side by side, wow, you can tell. To be fair, during the cutscenes and other in-game moments, the differences can be more drastic than you think. They truly did rebuild this game, but a lot of the differences feel like just that. Not necessarily an upgrade, just it looks different now. Going from the original PS3 game to Part 1 on PS5 is a huge step up. But from remastered on PS4, like there should have been a bonus feature in Part 1, a fucking bird that tells you when something's different. If anything, they took more stuff out with the exclusion of the multiplayer mode. And yes, the game looks better now, but The Last of Us Remastered still looks better than 90% of the games releasing these days, and you can play that on PlayStation 5. And how many times can they keep just enhancing graphics on a game and expect people to care? There's one more pixel on the screen than The Last of Us Part 1 too. Well, there is more content. Yeah, hopefully it's obvious why I think that's a bad deal, though I can understand why some people have no problem spending that kind of cash on this kind of game. What you spend your money on is your own damn business.
Until the government gets involved.
I guarantee the people who complain about this just bought the stupidest goddamn thing ever.
This is why I guarantee it.
Blizzard Arcade Collection. A handful of games developed by Blizzard before they changed their mind on going bankrupt. A solid little retro distraction with some cool bonus features and variations of the games included. They actually went in and created definitive versions of these Super Nintendo games, combining elements from other console versions into one, which is awesome. For $20, this is a great way to play these vintage games. One problem, these games were available for free on Blizzard's website.
Well, not really free. They cost the guilt of not buying the arcade collection.
Now, let's be fair here. The versions of The Lost Vikings...
I didn't know the full games were free on Blizzard's website. My older brothers played Lost Vikings on Sega Channel. You know, that cartridge you put in the Sega Genesis to connect to the internet and play a bunch of games. I didn't play it until much later, though. I played a demo of Lost Vikings on Battle.net. Not Battle.net, but the actual website, Battle.net, back in the early to mid-2000s. And then that demo was just like the first level of the game. It's all it was. And that was to promote that they were re-releasing the Lost Vikings on Game Boy Advance. That was my first experience actually really playing the game. I bought it on Game Boy Advance. Back then, or GBA. When it comes to Blizzard, what I obviously most know them for is Starcraft and Warcraft. This is Blackthorn, by the way. I played that a little bit. Former friend of mine, he had Blackthorn on his GBA back then, and I played it a little bit. It's the orcs. There's like orcs you can kill in that game, or whatever the hell they are. They're funny as hell because if they shoot you, you get hit. They go ho 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 ho. But they're so stupid because they're standing there laughing at you that you could just shoot them and kill them. So they're like ho 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 ho. I don't know, I couldn't help but bring that up. That they're freaking hilariously dumb. But like, yeah, I played like during the 2000s. I played so much Starcraft and so much Warcraft 3. I wasn't into World of Warcraft, which sucks because whenever a conversation happens and I mention, oh, I love Warcraft 3, people always assume I'm talking about WoW. Like, no, I'm not talking about WoW. I'm talking about Warcraft before there was WoW. Warcraft used to be a strategy game like Starcraft. In my early 20s, I also played a lot of Starcraft 2 when it first came out. I used to actually be pretty good at it, but I'm not so good at it now. I've taken a lot of time off from the game. But yeah, I've played some of their classics, just not as much as the games they're as some of the games they're most well known for.
Vikings and Blackthorn, Blizzard has a collection. Now, let's be fair.
I mean, if you can get these games for free on the Blizzard website, I guess I should just go on the Blizzard website and just get them. I didn't even know that was actually, I didn't know you can get the entire game like that. That's crazy.
Here, the versions of the Lost Vikings and Blackthorn Blizzard has available on their website are the DOS versions, and Rock and Roll Racing is more of a cut-down demo of the full game with loads of content missing. The arcade collection contains the console versions of these games, plus the definitive editions, which have loads of value to them. Plus, later on, they released a free update putting 2 games that aren't on Blizzard's website for free in the collection. I think the initial thought of, oh, they're releasing a collection of games for $20 when they're also offering PC downloads of the games included for free, what a crock, is understandable, but they included a lot more than those free versions ever will. And it's not like they removed the free downloads after they released Arcade Collection, so this, I wouldn't say it's a bad deal, though I wouldn't say it's a necessarily good one either, especially when it initially launched with only 3 titles. I'd say this is wholeheartedly an deal. But that just begs the question, what do I consider a good deal in gaming?
I stole this.
When the Sega Dreamcast was doing really
Stealing's a good
bad,
deal. Yeah,
like
you got it for
pretty
free.
bad, really bad, a deal was offered where if you signed up for Sega's online service, SegaNet, for $22 a month on a 2-year plan, you'd get a Dreamcast console. You just get one. I mean, you get a free video game console by signing up for a service you'd possibly sign up for once you buy said video game console. It's like, sure, I'll sign up for PlayStation Plus, and then they give you a whole ass PlayStation 5. Like, hey, I wouldn't complain, but this tactic seems backwards. You'd expect if there would be any deal, you'd get the online service for free after buying the console, not getting the console for free after buying the online service.
Yeah,
but
that
hey,
makes sense.
I'd be an ass for saying this is anything but a good deal. Oh wow, f this guy. It goes without saying though, you can't do a deal like this without vibes of an mentality. And within a few months, Sega announced the deal didn't work. But a good deal is still a good deal, even if it's born out of a company on the verge of bankruptcy. It's our duty as consumers to take advantage of others' misery, even our own. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Anniversary Edition on...
Yeah, why is that $70? Didn't Skyrim first come out in like 2010 or something? Like, geez, I remember buying it on Steam for like... Being that the game had come out not that long before, like the summer deals were going on, it was only like $10 off, so it was like 40 or $30 or something. Why is it 70? It's ridiculous.
On Nintendo Switch for $70. Here's a picture of that, and here's a picture of something not worth $70.
Oh, this was just a waste of ink.
Forget The Last of Us on PlayStation 5 for $70. How about Skyrim on Switch for that price? I mean, the $70 price transition was pretty much exclusively for those new consoles introduced. The Switch was still sitting pretty with a $60 price cap for most games. But let's roll out the red carpet for another damn version of Skyrim. To be fair, this is a bundle. The base Skyrim game for $60, plus the Anniversary Edition DLC upgrade, which would normally cost $20 standalone. Now only $10 via this method.
Ridiculous.
Now the DLC itself, I mean, this Anniversary Edition originally launched alongside the PS5 and Xbox Series versions of Skyrim in November of 2021, being offered as an upgrade on top of another upgrade. It came to Nintendo Switch out of nowhere a year later and includes new content.
Oh, they ain't kidding.
For $20, this is incredible. incredibly weak DLC. It's a bunch of items and gear, some quests. I mean, decent enough add-on content, but for $20? On top of the $60 for the base Skyrim game, which is $10 more than the superior special edition on the other more powerful consoles. An Anniversary Edition doesn't even come alongside any next-gen upgrades like it did on PS5, which kind of warranted the release of Anniversary Edition to begin with. But hey, Anniversary Edition on Switch does improve the graphics slightly, and now the game runs worse than it did without the DLC. After that, I need something slightly more positive.
That's terrible.
Well, I did say slightly. Super Mario 3D All-Stars,
first, isn't
a
it?
compilation of Super Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy on Nintendo
But not
Switch
Galaxy 2.
for $60. Now, due to a lack of bonus features and other games included, many considered this to be overpriced. Well, let's do some math here. When
It is.
Nintendo sold Nintendo 64 and Wii games on the Wii U's Nintendo eShop, they valued Super Mario 64 at $10 and Super Mario Galaxy at $20. And while they didn't sell GameCube games, we could do some quick math and figure they'd sell Super Mario Sunshine for $15. Nintendo wouldn't do this to me. We are really close. We talk all the time.
Sure.
This is Nintendo customer support.
My DS won't turn on.
Well, this price accounts for the baseline, just the game experience for the most part. 3D All-Stars enhances the games. If you squint, Mario 64 got the least attention here. You could compare it to the standalone Wii U release, and that one you could save and load suspend points whenever you wanted. You can't do that here, though the game looks and controls far better in 3D All-Stars, and it's interestingly based on a Japan-only release of the game, now including Rumble support. Sunshine is now in widescreen with an increased resolution, Galaxy can now be played with a standard controller, and all games can be played portably, which you could warrant a price increase for that. On paper. That's not a feature of the game, that's a feature of the Nintendo Switch. If you list portability as a feature of a Switch game, what are you doing?
Yeah,
The Xbox version of this game is more expensive because it has the feature of using an Xbox controller to play it. The bonus content is pitiful in this collection. Basically just the soundtracks of the 3 games, a feature that was included because no thought had to be put into it. At the end of the day, considering everything that's been included and the enhancements to each game, the value of this collection to me is around $50 to $55, which when it retailed for $60, I don't really think that's anything to freak out about. If you're somebody who refuses to pay a couple bucks more than what you think the imaginary value of a product is, you're probably fucking awesome, which means you would love Gears of War Ultimate Edition on Xbox One, a $40 remaster of Gears of War on Xbox 360.
I only have $5. What I just found out, taking out a loan is free!
For a series with 4 entries on the same console, you'd expect to see a Gears of War collection for that price. Just remastering the first game feels like something's missing here. Well, lucky us, Microsoft included the Xbox 360 versions of all these titles for free, playable on Xbox One, even the first game. Oh man, I always wanted to play that! I mean, Gears of War Ultimate Edition is a good remaster, though with how readily available the first game was and how the other games weren't initially included, I'd say this was originally an deal. Though after they ran this promotion, it became a damn good one. It only lasted from August 2015 to December 2015, but hey, if you have a problem with that, take it up with the passage of time. Want to hear another bad deal in gaming? Mass Effect 3 Special Edition for Wii U. Why did I buy this?
Because it's special. And what makes it special is I f***ed up all by myself.
A launch title for Wii U, the 3rd entry in the Mass Effect series, a series of games that really benefits from playing each entry to move your save file over from one to another. Of course, Mass Effect 1 was only on Xbox 360, so when Mass Effect 2 released on PlayStation 3, they incorporated an interactive comic that enabled you to cruise through an abridged Mass Effect 1 story and make the decisions you would have made that could alter how your story goes in Mass Effect 2. But then they eventually released
I didn't realize that the Mass Effect games, what you did in the previous games would affect the sequels. I've always thought it'd be really cool to design games that way, where what you do in the first game will affect how things are on the sequel. But I just kind of thought that would be like impossible. I just thought it would be cool, but I thought I didn't. So is that what's basically happened with Mass Effect? Because if it is, that's actually really awesome.
Mass Effect Trilogy on Xbox 360 and PS3, bundling all games together. announced Mass Effect Trilogy on Xbox 360 and PS3,
there you go.
bundling all games together while also putting Mass Effect 1 out on PlayStation for the first time. That launched during the holiday of 2012 for $59.99. Mass
Better
Effect
with
3
Kinect
Special
sensor?
Edition
Oh, I
launched on
doubt
Wii U
it.
that same holiday for $59.99. Okay, well,
Ooh.
it's Special Edition. There's got to be something special about it. That's not special. Funky Barn's on it too. Sure, you get a new interactive comic. A bunch of the DLC is included, plus the M597 Landon weapon. It's only in the Wii U version.
You know what else is only in the Wii U version? A good reason to buy Mass Effect 3.
But they couldn't bother to price this game at at least $50? Bringing the trilogy over would take 3 times the work. This game was so cheap on the other platforms because on Xbox 360, it was a matter of putting discs in cases. And on PlayStation 3, they just had to bring over the original Mass Effect and that's it. So I get why this bundle didn't come to Wii U. But why was it the same damn price? Ooh, well, Wii U gamepad functionality. Yeah, because doing this playing Mass Effect 3 feels badass.
The button hurt my finger.
That's not to say the Wii U had no good deals. Take a look at Bayonetta 2. That launched with the entire first game on a disc included for free. And they had to port the whole game to Wii U. It's not like Mass Effect Trilogy where they just threw the old discs in the package. No, they just understood how Bayonetta 1 was never on Nintendo platforms, and with Bayonetta 2 being a Wii U exclusive, well, what better way to sell people on that than include the first game for free. Okay, well, I'm out of ideas. They continued this tradition when the game was re-released on Nintendo
sales
Switch,
depressed.
this time with a download code for Bayonetta 1 included. Will always be a good deal. I mean, 16 characters included for free? Best I could do is 15. Nintendo Land included in the Wii U Deluxe set? That's a $60 value for only $50 more than the basic one. Getting one of 4 free games with Mario Kart 8 around launch, the titles like Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, Yoshi's Woolly World, and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze all retailing for less than $60? Nintendo was handing out some pretty solid deals during this generation. But then, it happened. In the era of the Nintendo Switch, Nintendo wasn't too interested in cutting consumers a deal. Case in point, the Switch version of Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. $50 on Wii U when it released as a brand new video game, discounted to $20 in 2016. Nintendo Switch version releases in 2018 for $60.
What did they add to this version? The goddamn Pope?
Okay.
Okay, so what's the problem again?
Well, outside of a new playable character, Funky Kong, which is basically just an easy mode, Tropical Freeze on Switch features less choppy loading screens when entering a level and a new snout. $60! They should charge monthly for this! Tropical Freeze is truly one of the greatest games of all time. The Nintendo Switch version is the best out there. And in a vacuum, it's worth $60. There is $60 worth of an experience here, but when it launched at $50 and was discounted to $20 and then this version comes out at $60 with barely anything new added, I'm sorry. It feels like these companies try to lure you in with a good deal, then eventually just rip everything from you because they already got you.
Pull a rug
PlayStation
under
Plus
ya.
and Xbox Live Gold. You'd sign up for these to play online multiplayer, but as a bonus, you'd get free games every month. For $60 a year, most people were okay with that for online multiplayer alone. Adding a handful of free games on top of that? That's just icing on the cake. The cake is nails. Yeah, that price for online multiplayer alone is a bit much, which is why all these incentives are being thrown in to keep customers happy. Like removing the need for an Xbox Live Gold subscription to access Netflix on Xbox consoles. That's incentive. But I'll gladly take a few free games a month for doing nothing. Look at this lineup of content from the month of March in 2020. The Batman The Enemy Within, Shantae Half Genie Hero, Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2, Sonic Generations? According to Xbox, that's nearly $100 worth of value. Hell, if they offer just these games for the year, you're making your money back on the Xbox Live investment. Damn, if that's the kind of deal we got in March of 2020, then what about in November of 2022?
Thank you?
It's really hard to complain considering you're paying for online multiplayer and the games are a bonus, but what the hell is
I'm gonna go
to
back a
complain?
little bit.
22!
Thank you?
It's really hard to complain considering you're paying for online multiplayer and the games are a bonus, but what the hell is this? Obviously, a service like Xbox Game Pass is where a lot of the real value lies. I mean, access to hundreds of games for a monthly price? I'm not specifying because it depends on where you sign up for the service. Buy a ton of Pop-Tarts, it's free.
But that's what it comes down to. Do you value what the product is giving enough to warrant paying what they're asking for? Or do you just want to slime yourself around the price? The value of games is completely subjective. Just because I don't find a game to be a good deal doesn't mean you should or shouldn't buy them. Hell, you can find a game to be a bad deal and still buy it. As long as you have the money to spend and your reasoning is, I want that, that's all you really need. But it's still interesting to dissect what you personally find to be worth it. So I ask you to think about it yourself. What do you think is a good or bad deal in gaming? And before you say Nintendo customer support is a bad deal, they hung up on me for the 5th time today asking to replace my DS. I know.
Well, if you break it on your knee, sure. Oh, that's a bit much. Okay. So just as a reminder, my Pirates of the Caribbean review, I'm working on it. I'll get the final version out, hopefully during the week. Depends on if something comes up during my week that kind of gets in the way. For now, if you'd like to help support me a little more, just basic membership, 99 cents, and you'll see the first draft version of it. So, let me see here. What's up, YouTube? This is Slidey Fry here. What is this 20% off thing? Thank you so much. I very much appreciate that. Keep watching my videos, but unfortunately... Okay. Oh, well, even better. You'll get 20% off on any of the memberships I've posted here, even though I didn't do anything. Cancel anytime. So far these are the loyalty badges. I'm gonna add more. I'm gonna include some that have my wife's face. She said she's given me permission for that. I'll include some with Johnny Depp, Gilbert Gottfried. These are the custom emojis. If I get enough members to join, I can have more than just these 4, because that would be nice to have a lot more than just 4. But yeah, these are the different levels of membership. If you want to support me more, feel free to do so. But it's okay if you just want to do the basic one and pay me less than I was charging because YouTube said so. Like, god damn it, man, really? Whatever. Anyways, now there's a deal, so even more reason. Didn't even know there was until I checked her just now. This was I really like this video. I really appreciate it just because yeah, Scott the Woz, like I mean, just video games and their discounts, like it can be hard to find a good deal on games. It really can. Sorry, I'm checking something. Okay. A loyal commenter who mostly just watches my Scott the Woz reactions, although he's watched some of my other stuff, he requested me to do a reaction to one of his videos, but his channel is so small that I'm not going to make a video dedicated to it, so I'm going to record a reaction to one of his videos. Oh, wow, that's a long one. I'm going to try to record a reaction to one of his shorter videos. I'm not going to do one of the longer ones. It's crazy. Alright, I'll do... He does puppet shows. I'll give it a shot. I'm not that much of a puppet shows guy, but actually I think the one I'm picking is okay. But anyway, sorry, I don't want to be distracted like that. I'll go to my history real quick and yeah. All right. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Click that bell icon to add me notifications. My Pirates of the Caribbean review will be coming soon, and the next upcoming reviews of Johnny Depp films, hopefully I'll actually get those done more quickly than I got this one done. This took like 3 months. Took some time, like it really did. Um, but anyway, I think it really does honestly kind of suck that video games are now $70. Now, I grew up in the 90s and I didn't even realize what the price of games were back then. I thought it was just like 50 or something, but um, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of individual chips for each game, so I see why it would be more expensive. Um, I'm really thankful to my mom for making sure that our family had all that stuff. We had we had a Sega Genesis, a Super Nintendo, a PlayStation 1, and an N64. We had all four of them. All four of the 90s consoles, although Genesis first came out in 89, so I don't know if it's I mean, it's really a 90s console, but it first came out in 89, but year after I was born. Anyway, yeah, I remember what really, and one thing that kind of annoys the hell out of me is that, like, Wii games are $50, right? And then there's, like, remasters ported to the Switch that are $60. I'm like, what the fuck? It's a it's a, or I don't even know if it's that much of a remaster, but it's basically a port of a game that came out more than a decade ago, and you're charging $10 more than its original retail price. Like, come on, man, what the fuck is that shit? No, I don't recall how much the Epic Game Store version on PC was for Sonic Colors Ultimate. I think it was cheaper than buying it on a console. I don't remember though. Um, but yeah, speaking of Sonic, I'm thinking about at some point playing the new Sonic Frontiers. I heard it's good and bad. It has a lot of good stuff and a lot of potential for the future of the franchise, but it also is a flawed game, like a lot of other games, a lot of other Sonic games, especially. Um, but it's a great improvement over some of the previous outings for Sega, um, for Sonic Team. Anyway, yeah, honestly, I'd say I pretty much agree when it comes to what Scott DeWatt said about the great deals and bad deals and deals. Some deals just aren't very good. I remember when Starcraft 2 first came out in 2010. Going back to Blizzard Entertainment now. Um, I was only 22 when that came out. I'm 34 now. So there was either there was either the original. So there was StarCraft 2: The Wings of Liberty, and it was $60, or you can get some kind of like collector's edition for $100. And all that really did was like add new skins to a few units. Like the Thor had more pieces on it and looked more intimidating. I think the Ultralisk looked a little different. There was also some exclusive player icons you can do based on various units from the game that were not available without the collector's edition. But it's just like, why is it that expensive to add those things? Like, geez, man, it's fucking bullshit. um, so yeah, that's I didn't care for the collector's edition. I just got the original regular version. What did kind of suck about StarCraft 2, though, is overall the whole thing isn't the greatest deal because unlike in the original StarCraft, where all three races' campaigns were in the same game, like in the original StarCraft, Episode 1 is the first 10 missions, the Terran campaign, the next is the Zerg campaign, the next is the Protoss campaign. Then on the expansion set, Brood War, first is the Protoss campaign, then the Terran campaign, then the Zerg campaign. um, but in StarCraft 2, it's first it's Wings of Liberty, which is just entirely is the Terran. I mean, it has the online multiplayer, but for the single player, besides just going against the computer, the campaign is just the Terran campaign. Now, granted, there's a lot more missions. In the original StarCraft, each race had 10 missions. In Brood War, the Protoss and Terran had 8 missions, and the Zerg had 10 missions. And there was a bonus mission for the Protoss that you can get to by beating the 9th mission of the Zerg campaign with over 10 minutes left on the countdown timer. Which reveals some more backstory and reveals some more things that actually could reveal what would happen in StarCraft 2, even though StarCraft 1 came out like 12 years before StarCraft 2. It was interesting. Anyway, in StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty, it's just the Terran campaign. There is a Protoss Prophecy campaign where you'll play as the Protoss for like 4 missions, I think, which is a completely optional campaign, but otherwise it's entirely the Terran campaign. Then in 2013, they released StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm, which back then I recorded and uploaded an entire playthrough of Heart of the Swarm if you're curious. But yeah, that one's just the Zerg campaign, and compared to Wings of Liberty, it was pretty underwhelming. Now each race had new additional units that they could use in battle, but for the storyline, it was just the Zerg campaign. Then I think it was 2015 they released like the StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void, which was just the Protoss campaign. They add some more additional units to each race, of course, for battle, but yeah, it kind of stinks that each campaign was separated into different games. That is kind of a bad deal. That's like over $150 for the entire story of StarCraft 2. But granted, each game had a lot of missions. Like the Wings of Liberty, I don't remember how many missions were in that Terran campaign. It was 20-something, which still would be less than how many missions were actually in the original StarCraft, but it was more in depth anyways, and plus there was the Protoss Prophecy. Heart of Swarm, I think, had fewer missions, and then I actually haven't completed Legacy of the Void, actually. I'd like to someday. Anyway, so if you want to talk about a bad deal, StarCraft 2, in reality, is actually a bad deal, because you're paying full price for each story, as opposed to paying full price to have all the stories in one game with the original. Anyways, moving on from that, I'm gonna do this reaction as I promised to this subscriber. I don't intend to do any more of them because, like I said, he doesn't get very many views anyway, so it wouldn't help my channel. But it'll just to make sure I get it done. I'll include it in a reaction to something more popular. So let's see what this is like. I'm not familiar with this channel. I don't know what to say. I'll take a quick look.
Please, guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps us. We're nearing 50 subscribers, and it's the least you can do.
Okay.
Mario, I'm taking this quiz here, and it's asking me who I think the coolest video game character is.
Well, isn't it obvious, Luigi?
It's Mario.
No.
You're looking right at him. It's me, Mario.
So you're saying you're the coolest?
Why, yes, I am. Thank you for noticing, Luigi.
Hey, Hey Mario, just because you're the protagonist doesn't mean you're the coolest. Why can't the antagonist be the coolest? Why not me? King Bowser, King of the Koopas. I happen to think I'm pretty cool.
Hey guys, I happen to think I'm a pretty cool character.
No.
Yoshi.
Yoshi's cool, yeah.
Now, hey guys, you're all pretty cool and all, but I'm pretty sure I'm still the coolest.
Hey, no, that's not true at all.
Yoshi.
Why couldn't it be a princess who's the coolest?
Yeah, tell me about it. Or a toad. What about me?
I think I'm pretty cool.
You're
You're
lame.
not cool at all, Goomba.
It's me, I'm the coolest.
Yes.
Oh, yes, it is.
I keep talking to myself. I have a humongous head. That means I must be big brain. Yeah.
Usually doesn't mean cool.
I bet none of you even know the first thing about magic.
Won't you get it through your thick skulls? I'm the coolest.
I'm the coolest.
I'm the coolest. I'm the coolest. Yoshi. Enough, people. Thank you. Now, I'm pretty sure there's an easy way to figure out which one of us is the coolest video game character.
Samus.
Huh?
Samus Aran.
Sure, maybe. She's pretty cool.
But, Bowser Jr., why would you choose that?
Come on, it's not company betrayal or anything. She's a Nintendo
Nintendo,
character too.
But we're a Mario channel. We're supposed to do Mario characters and promote us. What are you doing?
Well, am I wrong though?
Good job, Samus. This is all from Metroid Zero Mission, a remake of the original Metroid. If you want to play the very first Metroid, don't. The very first Metroid actually sucks. I hate that game. It's impossible to know where you're going. Too many rooms look identical and there's no map. But Metroid Zero Mission is a great improvement over it. A lot of people would say Sonic the Hedgehog's the coolest character, but with the criticism towards his games, maybe not. If you're wondering why I didn't full screen it, it's not because I forgot or anything. It's actually because previously when I was recording a reaction video to AVGN, when I full screened a different video to show that for Halloween, steamed hams, but the moon from Majora's Mask is getting closer and closer to impact every time Principal Skinner lies. It lagged really bad when I full screen it. It could be because I pressed play and then pressed full screen, but I didn't want to take the risk of, oh, I've been recording, so now that I full screen so much later, it's messing up. I didn't want to take that risk. For such a small channel, I'm actually surprised. That was pretty entertaining. Mario sounded pretty spot on. Luigi, not exactly, but he sounded pretty good. Toad, yeah, that sounds like I mean, it's not raspberry Toad, but like it's a good Toad voice. And I don't know who voiced Peach and Daisy, but that sounded surprisingly good. Yeah, I was actually surprised. I wasn't expecting something this entertaining from such a small channel. Sometimes when it comes to YouTube, it's unfair. Like, it's really unfair. There's a secondary channel I used to run. I don't run it anymore. But Yeah, I'll just show you my channels. So this one, Broadsword Media, I put a lot of effort into some of my videos there, but it never panned out. This channel, I stopped because this had a lot of original content, stuff I put in my stuff I put in my in a compilation I uploaded I premiered on here, Slide 8 Fry in 2020. But anyways, yeah, a lot of effort was put into these videos, but it didn't really pan out. And to make things even worse, a glitch happened that destroyed this channel. Like, it literally destroyed it. Oh wow, I'm an idiot. I forgot. Here. This is that secondary channel, Sci-Fi Productions. There was one I also used to run called Broadsword Media. Don't bother with the two channels. I've discontinued both of them. It's all just about Slide 8 Fry now, which is how it should have been. I should never have started secondary channels. I think that kind of held me back. But this channel, I kid you not, it used to have 192 subscribers. It now has 35. The reason why was because of a glitch. There was a YouTube glitch that destroyed the channel. Back when Google was trying to put every YouTuber into the Google Plus thing back like, I don't know, in like 2013, I think was the year. My goodness, what they did was so stupid. So for this channel, Slide 8 Fry, I rejected the whole thing and everything was fine. Then eventually we were pushed into it anyway. My secondary channel, Sci-Fi Productions, I had rejected it, but it caused a glitch that caused all of my videos to disappear from existence. So then I was like, okay, fine, I'll just deal with it and do the Google Plus change. I got all the videos back, but then it made all 192 subscribers that channel had disappear from existence. Yeah. And it was because of that that I abandoned that channel. There was no reason to keep going if everything was just going to shut down like that because of a stupid YouTube glitch from Google trying to force us into a change we didn't really want or need. Good thing it didn't happen to Slide 8 Fry here. Otherwise, yeah, you wouldn't be seeing any of these videos at all because I would have given up a long time ago. Because at the time, Sly 88 Fry had this channel had it had a little over 1,000 subscribers. Now it's almost to 3,000, which is nice. Hopefully, it gets there soon. Anyways, yeah, I went on a lot longer than I meant to, but yeah, feel free to check out that channel I just watched for the puppet shows if you're into that. And thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for my Pirates of the Caribbean review when I finish it, hopefully this week, maybe next week.